What's up, man? It's the Bronco at the Frog coming at you with another reaction video. Hey, man, some more education. It's time to learn a little something football explain. Go subscribe to them, get them to 5,000, 10,000 subscribers. We have every football tactic that changed the game explained in 23 minutes. Ooh, let's go ahead and learn some. We finna have the pyramid as they already is showing right now. We finna have the total football. You know, I think Johan Cruyff introduced total football. Let's see how it goes down.
In the 1880s, football isn't strategy. It's a street fight. 10 men surge forward, one stays back, and the ball ricochets between bodies like a brawl in mud. There's no balance, no order, no plan. Matches end 8-6, and nobody cares who defended worse. Then
matches was that high back in the day? The score lines?
Scotland does something heretical. They pass. The Scots line up in a 2-3-5. 2 defenders, 3 midfielders, 5 attackers. They call...
That nigga said back in the day, niggas lined up in 2-3-5s, bro. 2-3-5s.
Call it the pyramid. Suddenly, football becomes synchronized movement instead of chaos. Short passes replace wild dribbles, players link like gears in a machine. England laughs, calling it unmanly. Until they start losing, repeatedly.
That sound like some English shit. Talk about some, oh, that's unmanly. What the boy?
Between 1882 and 1888,
England
Scotland humbles England 5 times. The passing game spreads across the British Isles like wildfire. Clubs from Preston to Queen's Park copy the shape. South Americans take notes when British sailors teach them. Within a decade, the pyramid becomes football's default language. By 1900, every team sheet reads the same. 2 backs, 3 halves, 5 forwards. The sport that began as disorganized mayhem now looks geometric. Order replaces instinct. Structure replaces chaos. For 40 years, it replaces instinct.
Look at that. They had 5 at the front, straight attacking ball. You can't even call this haram ball, halal ball. Nah, this is straight. What's the opposite of halal ball? These niggas say, let's get straight to it. If all that, we pushing everybody. 2 defenders, 3 midfielders, 5 attackers.
Instinct. Structure replaces chaos. For 40 years, no one dares to change it because the pyramid isn't just a tactic, it's football's first formation, and the game will never be the same again. The WM Revolution, 1925, changes everything. The Football Association tweaks the offside law, cutting the number of defenders required to play an attacker onside from 3 to 2. A small rule with seismic consequences. Overnight, defenses collapse. Matches explode into 6-5, 7-4 scorelines, and once organized teams look lost. England's proud tactical tradition becomes a mess of goals and confusion. For the first time, football feels unsolvable. Then, at Arsenal, one man brings logic back to chaos. Herbert Chapman, part engineer, part visionary, decides that football needs a blueprint.
Big Herb, Gunner boys, take a bow. He done saved football. A Gunner boy. Trailblazer.
He sketches a new shape on a chalkboard. 3 defenders, 2 halfbacks, 2 inside forwards, 3 attackers. 3-2-2-3.
He say still no UCL.
The letters stand for how it looks. A W when attacking, an M when defending. Letters
3-2-2-3. Winger, inside forward, center forward, inside forward, winger. That's the W. M, flip that. You got the fullback, halfback, fullback, halfback, fullback.
Stand for how it looks. A W when attacking, an M when defending. The idea is simple but revolutionary. The centre half, once a midfield bruiser, drops back to form a third defender. The 2 wing halves protect the flanks. The inside forwards link midfield to attack. Suddenly, balance returns to the game. Arsenal becomes unrecognisable. Compact, efficient, methodical. Between 1931 and 1935, Chapman's creation transforms English football. Arsenal wins 3 league titles and an FA Cup, not through individual brilliance, but through systemized
teamwork,
control.
systematic.
Their moves are rehearsed, their spacing precise, Their discipline
Sound like
unmatched. Teams that used to rely on instinct
no.
now face an organized machine. Spectators call it clockwork football. Chapman calls it progress. For the first time, tactics are studied, not guessed. Coaches analyze passing lanes, pressing triggers, and the relationship between shape and space. The ripple spreads fast.
Oh, yeah.
Italy's Vittorio Pozzo
There
studies
Italy
the
on the
WM,
scene.
adapts it to his metodo, and wins 2 World Cups in 1934 and 1938.
Snatched y'all chain, copied off y'all homework, took y'all food, baked it into something else with its own ingredients. 2 World Cups on that ass.
In South America, Brazil and Uruguay fused Chapman's geometry with creativity, forming the roots of the modern 4-2-4.
Upgraded.
Everywhere, the same lesson echoes. Structure
He said
beat
4-2-4?
for the modern 4-2-4.
Oh, there we go.
Everywhere, the same lesson echoes.
He said propaganda
Structure
World Cup.
beats chaos, and planning beats passion. The WM doesn't just organize teams, it organizes football itself. The age of formations as weapons has begun, and the manager becomes the sport's first general. The Hungarian Miracle. November 25th, 1953. Wembley, the home of English football. For half a century, the stadium stands as an empire of invincibility. England has never lost here to a team from outside the British Isles. 50 years of pride, power,
and then Hungary came in there and knocked that shit down.
Build a wall of arrogance. The newspapers call it the land that taught the world football. That night, Hungary walks in and teaches England a lesson. It will
bro,
never
England, why are y'all just always just getting clowned on, bro? Like throughout history, all throughout history, whether it's football. Hey, man.
forget. Gustav Sebes's mighty Magyars arrive unbeaten in 31 matches, Olympic champions, and prophets of a new idea. Football played by thinkers, not just runners. On paper, Hungary lines up in a 4-2-4.
Yep.
In practice, it's a tactical riddle no English player can decode.
Oh,
Nandor Hidekuti,
they said they wasn't smart enough. You remember them England boys was talking about something, they not manly enough. He said y'all going with all these tactics and shit, man, y'all ass not manly. Until they started losing. So they needed Arsenal dude to come up with their own tactics. To Italy dude snatched that chain, melted the chain down, and melted that new chain into a new form, put their own gold into it. And then Hungary walked into their fortress, lined up in a 4-2-4, and said, this formation is a little bit too complicated for y'all. Well, we not manly enough for y'all. We got straight tactics, and they was over there getting scoop, in Wembley.
Tactical riddle no English player can decode. Nandor Hidekuti, the deep-lying forward in the number 8 shirt, abandons the front line and drops into midfield, dragging Billy Wright, England's centre-half, hopelessly out of position. Space opens everywhere. Ferenc Puskás, the left-footed artist, glides into the vacuum and scores twice, including one goal so audacious he beats a defender with a drag-back.
He out here. Hey, Puskás out here dragging back on y'all ass. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. That nigga out here hitting ball is like sports center plays and Wembley.
Slides into the vacuum.
He say it's time he finna make a name for himself here.
Including one goal so audacious he beats a defender with a drag-back before blasting home. Sandor Kocsis bullies the box with aerial power. Within 15 minutes, England is down 2-0. By halftime, the crowd of 100,000 is stunned into silence. The football looks alien, rhythmic, fluid, impossible to predict. Hungary's passing is hypnotic, a carousel of one-touch combinations, fullbacks overlapping, strikers dropping deep, defenders stepping forward. Every player defends, every player attacks. The WM system that ruled for 30 years collapses under its own rigidity. When the final whistle blows at 6-3, the scoreline feels generous. England has been dismantled, dissected, and educated all at once. The aftershocks spread worldwide. Hungary hasn't just beaten England, they've detonated football's first true tactical revolution. Coaches across Europe study the tape and see the future. Rotation, intelligence, and movement over muscle. The false nine is born, the seeds of total football planted. From that night on, the myth of English supremacy dies, and a new truth takes hold. Football belongs to whoever can think faster, move smarter, and see what others can't.
Look at that. That's that. What's the word? That entitlement. You know, them English boys, they had that sense of entitlement back in the day. This is ours. It's coming home. We invented the sport. This is our sport. Until Hungary came in there and busted him in their mouth. Hungary said, no, this is the world's game. This ain't y'all's game. It's the world's game. We move smarter.
The Brazilian 4-2-4.
Oh,
Hungary shows the world what's possible, and Brazil listens. The mighty Magyars' fluidity fascinates them. Players rotating like dancers, defenders stepping into midfield, strikers dropping deep. But Brazil knows brilliance needs discipline.
Yep.
Chaos needs choreography. So they take the idea and reshape it into balance. 2 midfielders to protect, 4 attackers to create. The result is the 4-2-4. Equal
again.
parts symmetry, structure, and samba. It's football's first truly modern system, born from European logic and South American rhythm. By 1958, Brazil perfects it. In Sweden, the world watches a masterpiece unfold. Pelé, just 17, scores 6 goals, including a hat-trick in the semi-final and a volley in the final that seems to defy physics. Garrincha,
17 years old in a World Cup semi-final, dropping a hat-trick, bro. Come on, bro. Put some respect on Pele's name, man.
Humiliates defenders with feints that leave them frozen mid-turn. Didi, calm and regal, conducts every attack from deep like a maestro with a stopwatch instead of a baton. Beside him, Zito shields the back line, a metronome of positioning and patience. Up front, Vava and Pelé finish every move with surgical precision. Brazil beats the hosts 5-2 in the final. And it isn't just victory, it's revelation. For the first time, a team wins with both freedom and control. Every line connects. The fullbacks stay disciplined, the midfielders orchestrate tempo, and the front 4 move in perpetual motion, creating a spectacle that feels choreographed yet alive. The 4-2-4 isn't just effective, it's beautiful. Football, once about chaos and collisions, now moves to rhythm. The world reacts instantly. Coaches from Europe to South America tear up old tactics.
They start copying off homework. That's how football works. Once somebody is doing crazy, somebody's doing good, everybody get the what they doing over there, man? Hey man, let me you seen this shit, Pep? You know what I'm saying? Pep with the robot ball. Everybody like, oh shit, okay, let me go ahead. But unfortunately, it was for the worse.
What becomes the new gospel? A shape that bridges artistry and architecture. Brazil repeats the triumph in 1962, proving it's no fluke. Attack and defense no longer live in separate worlds. They cooperate in harmony. The lesson is eternal. Balance isn't boring, it's lethal. The 4-2-4 doesn't just win Brazil a World Cup. It rewrites football's DNA forever. Catenaccio's Iron Wall, 1960s. Italy doesn't chase beauty.
Here we go, Italy
it
back.
Perfects resistance. While other nations dream of goals, Italy dreams of control. In a country defined by strategy and survival, football becomes an extension of national character.
He said first
and
sight
at Inter Milan, manager Helenio Herrera becomes its grand architect. His creation, Catenaccio, the doorbolt, isn't just a tactic. It's a doctrine. The libero sweeps behind 4 man markers, reading danger before it exists. Every inch of grass is planned, every pass anticipated. For Herrera, football is a chess match played at sprint speed. His Inter side, nicknamed La Grande Inter, plays with military precision. Tarcisio Burgnic guards the right like a lock. Giacinto Facchetti, a defender who runs like a winger, charges forward when space opens. In the center, Armando Pichi operates as the libero, the silent brain behind the wall, cleaning every mistake. Luis Suarez, the Spanish playmaker,
I remember this Luis. He played for Barcelona too. Wore number 10 and everything.
Launches counterattacks that slice through open fields. The pattern never changes. Defend deep, wait, and strike once. In 1964 and 1965, Inter win back-to-back European Cups, conceding just 4 goals in the process.
Damn.
Every victory feels inevitable, cold, efficient, merciless. Critics explode. They call it anti-football, accuse Herrera of killing creativity. But he doesn't flinch. You don't win
Anti-football got a new word. This is basically terrorist ball. That's what they try to say. They was playing terrorist ball. We just gave it a new name.
But he doesn't flinch.
Anti-football.
You don't win by scoring more.
I hate the Italians. Yeah, this is the mentality on why a lot of Americans don't like watching football. Because by the time, the World Cup had rolled down to America in 1994, you had Italy in the whole world out here, well, you don't win by scoring more. You win by conceding less. While in American sports, you win by scoring more. The mentality just didn't match. Just didn't mesh.
Italy, that becomes gospel. Catenaccio isn't cowardice. It's calculation. Each 1-0 win feels like a work of art.
Hey, see,
Each
I'm
clean sheet, a masterpiece
bro,
of control.
I'm still not trying to hear that shit, bro.
Coaches fear
no kids,
it.
I know a lot of
like
y'all always be saying that, this
Each
and that. I ain't trying to hear that shit.
Clean sheet, a masterpiece of control. Fans adore it. Coaches fear it. Opponents hate it. The system's influence spreads far beyond Milan. Nereo Rocco applies it at AC Milan. Juventus imitates it. And Italian football becomes synonymous with tactical mastery. For a decade,
they won a league only
defense
scoring
becomes
20?
destiny. Catenaccio proves that football's soul isn't only found in flair, it can live in discipline, precision, and silence.
Ooh.
In Herrera's world, goals are optional, but victory is law. Total football. 1970s.
There we go, the father.
Netherlands doesn't follow possessions, it erases them. Rinus Michels, a former schoolteacher turned visionary, looks at football's rigid shapes and decides they're obsolete. His Ajax team moves like a living organism, every player breathing in rhythm with the next. When one leaves a space, another fills it instantly. When one presses forward, another slides
Everybody
back.
do everything,
It's
goddammit.
movement with purpose, chaos with choreography. And at the heart of it all,
the
is
father,
Johan Cruyff, number 14. The conductor who plays the whole orchestra while running the melody himself. Cruyff starts as a striker, but refuses to stay still. One moment he's dropping into midfield, the next he's sprinting to the wing, then turning up as deep as a centre-back to start an attack. Defenders try to mark him and end up marking shadows. Ajax wins 3 consecutive European Cups between 1971 and 1973. Dismantling opponents who can't cope with players who think faster than formations can react. The team presses high, builds from the back, and attacks in waves. Every position
they was playing that, nah. They ass is playing that rat ball. Like some f***ing rats, like some Swiss. Go take a bath. I play they play like somebody on FC play, sending everybody forward, just constant pressure. Just like, suffocating your ass.
Builds from the back and attacks in waves. Every position temporary, every movement deliberate. Even the goalkeeper, Heinz Stey, joins build-ups with short passes. Football, once static, suddenly feels alive. Opponents crumble under the confusion. Man-marking systems collapse as players drag markers out of position and tear open gaps behind them. The Netherlands take total football global at the 1974
having their
World
way
Cup,
with them.
pressing,
but they
rotating,
still couldn't win a World Cup.
They thrash Argentina, outplay Brazil, and reach the final, only to fall to West Germany. But the trophy doesn't matter. The world has already seen the future.
So what did West Germany do so crazy to stop the total football? Was them boys just some dogs? I know Birkenbauer and Jared Mueller was over there, huh? They just had them dogs, man.
The world has already seen the future. The Dutch lose the battle but win the philosophy. Everyone defends, everyone attacks. That's the creed. Michels and Cruyff turn tactics into thought. Intelligence replaces instinct. Adaptability replaces rigidity. For the first time, football isn't about where you stand. It's about how you move. Total football transforms the sport into art, played at the speed of imagination.
Now listen here. For everybody, I would wait to the end, but I want to say it now while it's fresh on my mind. For everybody who disrespect the old school, like especially in the 60s or 50s, and they were like, bro, look at this, bro. You could put Anthony back in the day. Hey, they'll do that. Man, bro, do y'all realize this video is showing you on how the way football is today got here because of somebody from the 50s had an idea. And guess what? Somebody from the 60s built off of that idea of dude from the 50s. Then somebody from the 70s built off that idea from dude in the 60s. Somebody from the 80s built off of that idea. The ideas just keep building and building and building. And we would never be here if it's not for the people that's back in the day and doing their thing. That's why you got to judge them by how great they were in their own era. You can't be like, oh, bro, yeah, you put them in today. Of course they're not going to be as good today. You know? They still in 50s mindset. Motherfucker, it was a time in the 20s, like on the video said, England told us, oh, y'all not playing manly enough for us. Take a motherfucker from England in 1920 and put him in today's football. He gonna be like, what the fuck? He gonna call that whole fairy football. He ain't gonna say y'all men. He gonna say y'all some damn sissies. My mama, they gonna be like, what the hell is this? This isn't football.
At the speed of imagination. From Amsterdam to Barcelona, from the 1970s to now, its DNA still shapes every modern system. Sachi's pressing revolution.
Ooh,
1980s.
80s.
Italy worships defense.
Italy again.
But Arrigo Sachi walks into AC Milan and decides to burn the
He
rule
said
book.
Doku go make
No
him
libero sweeping behind the line, no man marking shadows across the pitch, no fear of the high press. He builds a 4-4-2 that moves as one.
He go
a living,
headbutt his
breathing
ass.
organism 25 meters deep. Every player is tied by invisible string. When one presses, all press. When one steps back, all retreat.
All step back.
It's not 11 players, it's one heartbeat. Sachi calls it the collective. Opponents call it suffocation.
Oof.
Sachi's Milan doesn't defend the goal, they defend space. The team pushes up, compressing the field into chaos for anyone trying to play through them. In training, he makes players move without the ball, drilling synchronization until it's muscle memory.
Respect
the
for
ball
some.
moves faster than any player, he tells them, so we move before it does. The results are terrifying. Real Madrid walks into San Siro in 1989 expecting a battle, but finds a slaughter. 90 minutes later, it's 5-0. A tactical execution broadcast to the world.
They walked in there. Why is he doing him like that, bro? Real Madrid walked into San Siro expecting a battle, and they experienced a slaughter.
A few weeks later, in the European Cup final, Steaua Bucharest is destroyed 4-0,
Steaua
crushed
Bucharest.
under Milan's Red Storm. Every role is redefined. Franco Baresi holds the line at midfield, timing the offside trap with metronomic precision.
Damn.
Paolo Maldini closes passing lanes before the ball even arrives. Ruud Gullit and Marco van Basten turn interceptions into goals within seconds.
Over there, man.
Milan doesn't sit back and wait for danger, it hunts danger and turns it into opportunity. Sachi proves defending high isn't reckless. It's revolutionary. Europe watches and learns. Coaches who grew up fearing risk now study Sachi's geometry.
Y'all see the evolution. One person come, they build off and build and build and build and build and build and build. And guess what? In 2030, somebody is gonna come and build off of Pep's tactics and evolve that hoe into the next new thing that's hot and change the game.
Zonal defending becomes gospel. The sweeper disappears. Football evolves from man versus man to team versus space. Sachi turns pressing from desperation into design, from reaction to control. After Milan, pressing isn't just a tactic, it's the heartbeat of modern football, relentless, intelligent and beautiful in its brutality. Tiki Taka. 2008, Barcelona isn't reinventing football, they're redefining control. Pep Guardiola, barely 37 and fresh from coaching Barca B, steps into one of football's biggest jobs and tears the rulebook apart. He builds a team where the ball is both shield and sword.
What made him come up with some shit like that? Like, he was barely 37, like they said, and fresh off of coaching Barcelona B. What made him think of shit like, yeah, we ain't finna do none of this control, team versus space shit. Hey, we finna Tiki Taka. We finna boom, 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 boom. Keep swinging that hoe.
Xavi Hernandez, Andres Iniesta, and Sergio Busquets form a triangle so precise it feels computer-coded. Every pass drains oxygen from the opponent. Every touch builds suffocating pressure. Football, once about territory and strength, becomes about patience and time. They don't run through you, they make you dizzy. 2 passes become 10, 10 become 50. The opposition chases shadows, and in that exhaustion, space opens like cracks in glass. Lionel Messi, only 21, begins his transformation from winger to phenomenon, gliding between lines where defenders can't reach. Dani Alves bombs forward on endless overlaps, while Henry and Eto'o strike with ruthless precision. In Guardiola's first season, Barcelona wins everything: La Liga, Copa del Rey and the Champions League, playing a style that looks more like art than sport. Spain sees it, copies it and perfects it. Under Luis Aragonés and Vicente del Bosque, the national team plays the same rhythm, the same geometry,
he said either
the
he
same
using
patience.
ChatGPT or need to write a
Euro
book.
2008, World Cup 2010, Euro 2012.
Yup, and guess who ended their win streak? USA! USA! We ain't gonna talk about it though.
A dynasty built on triangles and tempo. Xavi
We ain't gonna
completes
talk about it. Don't tell
136
nobody, though.
passes in one match. Iniesta scores the goal that crowns a world champion. Busquets becomes the silent metronome holding the universe together. Critics call it boring, robotic, predictable. Opponents call it impossible. Because Tiki Taka isn't about beauty. It's about control disguised as grace. Every pass is a blade that cuts time, every movement a trap. Possession replaces power, precision replaces chaos. By 2012, football's map is redrawn. High pressing, positional play, false nines, all of it traces back to Guardiola's blueprint. The ball no longer belongs to the brave or the fast. It belongs to the patient. Football, for the first time, becomes a symphony, and Barcelona conducts the world. Gegenpressing.
Gegenpressing.
Borussia
It's like
Dortmund,
Klopp.
Jurgen Klopp teaches a rule that sounds insane to the old
Yeah,
guard.
Yerks.
When you lose the ball, attack faster. No regrouping,
Yeah,
no
Yerks.
retreating,
Fuck all that.
no breathing room.
Get that ball
the
back,
moment
man.
possession slips away, 10 players charge toward it like magnets. It's called gegenpressing.
I hate that shit on
Counterpressing.
FC.
And it flips football's logic on its head. Defense becomes attack. Mistakes become opportunities. Opponents barely touch the ball before a yellow and black swarm devours them. Klopp calls it heavy metal football.
Heavy metal.
Loud, relentless. No silence between the notes. His 2012 Borussia Dortmund side doesn't play with patience. It plays with adrenaline. Every player knows the trigger.
I know them niggas
A
was
bad
gas,
touch,
though.
a backward pass, a trapped midfielder. And the entire team explodes forward to win the ball within 3 seconds. Against Bayern Munich in the 2012 German Cup final, Dortmund wins 5-2, outrunning their opponents by 10 kilometers.
Damn.
It's not chaos, it's choreography disguised as madness. The crowd doesn't just watch, it feels the music pounding through the pitch. When Klopp takes his revolution to Liverpool, the volume only rises.
Yeah, man.
The press becomes poetry in motion. Roberto Firmino hunts as a false nine. Salah and Mane close in like twin blades. Henderson and Fabinho guard the second ball with ruthless precision. Liverpool doesn't control games by keeping the ball. They control them by controlling chaos. From the Champions League in 2019 to the Premier League in 2020, Klopp's men run, press and counter until the opponent simply breaks. Analytics later prove what Klopp's instincts already knew. Transitions decide matches more than possession ever did.
Counterattacks.
Teams that win the ball high score more often, concede less and dominate momentum. Gegenpressing turns losing possession into an attacking trigger,
saw some video of the gegenpressing.
The first 3 seconds after losing the ball become the most dangerous in football. In this world, fatigue is strategy, intensity is identity. And pressing isn't defense anymore. It's domination through motion. Football at 200 beats per minute. Inverted
Niggas was
fullbacks.
tired.
Pep Guardiola changes football
Inverted
once
fullbacks.
again,
We back on
this
Pep
time by
with the City
reinventing
boys.
defenders. For a century, fullbacks bomb down the wings. Guardiola tells them to step inside. When Manchester City has the ball, Kyle Walker, João Cancelo, or Alexander Zinchenko drift into midfield.
We in the walk era.
Suddenly, the shape morphs into a 3-2-5. 3 defenders stay back. 2 fullbacks sit beside the holding mid. 5 attackers stretch the front line. The logic is brutal in its simplicity. By moving inside, full-backs close the middle, block counter-attacks before they start, and create overloads in possession. City keeps the ball where it matters, the centre, suffocating teams that used to exploit the flanks. John Stones turns into a part-time midfielder. Cancelo starts dictating play like Pirlo in disguise. The numbers prove it works. Between 2018 and 2023, City averages over 65% possession and concedes the fewest goals in the Premier League. They win 5 titles in 6 seasons, including a treble in 2023. Their fullbacks barely cross the halfway line, yet control the game more than wingers ever did. Arteta adopts it at Arsenal. Tuchel mirrors it at Bayern. Zerbi evolves it at Brighton. The edges of the pitch no longer belong to defenders. They're architects now, engineers of balance and space. Football's next frontier isn't about where you stand, but where you step when the ball moves. Positions don't exist anymore. Only roles that shift like Mercury.
Like Mercury, hey man. Like Oswald said, bro need to read a book if it ain't ChatGPT, man. Every football tactic that changed the game explained in 23 minutes. Go subscribe to Football Display and get them to 5,000 subscribers. Somebody said Italy really invented the dark arts of football. Them Italy boys. But man, nah, they had me dead. The England boys in the 1920s was getting their ass whooped talking about some this not manly football. Like, nah, y'all, them England boys nuts for that. But just to teach y'all to listen to y'all young kids, hopefully this taught y'all that the reason that football is here today is because it evolved from something that was great back in the day. If we didn't have that stuff back in the day, football would not be where it's at now. So put some respect on old school, like Big Bronx always says, man. Hey, how about, and what is gonna be next? That's also curious in the 2030s. What other tactic or revolution is gonna revolutionize the game? We'll see. How about